whatever. Here we go.
Human error.
What is up, my friend? My brand new friend, I guess, as of like today. I mean, we've been talking for a minute through email, and then we eventually moved over to phone. Once you noticed to put my phone number in, like first email.
First message.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot to play your little intro video. I cannot believe that. Man, I tried to get everything working. I tried to get everything ready to go, and I totally forgot your intro video. You know what? Why don't you two introduce each other? And I will get your little intro video ready on the fly.
Let's see if you can make it happen.
All right, you know what? Hang on, just give me a second. I'll just do it real quick on the fly.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
Cyncere, nice to meet you.
This is not going to be any problem at all. Man, I'm not seeing his video.
This is not me, and this is you, because this is not my wheelhouse.
It's got to be in the
What happens when you take naps?
I am not the IT type.
All right, I'm going to do 2 more seconds of this. Wow, did I really just leave this off?
You have a.
Oh, wait. Episode only. Boom,
Oh,
found it. Found it.
See,
See,
you have
look,
many
guys,
things. You need to clean it
I
up
told you,
before
this is-
you do a show.
This is like not a problem at all. Wow, that's just blasting. Hold on.
And we're loud. Get loud.
I'm so sorry, man. Aren't you happy you came on the show, dude?
Hey, I'm just here to watch you.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
It gets a bit chaotic at times.
You're watching this. All right, here we go. Hang on, I'm gonna restart it. Let me kill the music so I can at least adjust this correctly. Okay, there we go. All right, you ready for your sweet intro, dude? Here we go.
Perfect.
I hope that's it. Media source. Yeah, that's it. All right. Look at that face, dude. I love the blends.
That is an awesome intro. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. That's a nice little graphic.
Love that.
All right,
graphic.
there you go. That was what was supposed to happen when I came over to you. How did you get the nice little aerial shot? Did you have one of your family members up on the deck? How did you?
Oh yeah,
capture?
my brother with the drone. My brother's a drone guy. So.
Shut up! That was a drone. Get
That's a
out of
drone
here,
shot.
man.
Nice.
Wow, Chill will Rocco for the $5. Thank you, appreciate that. I survived Arkansas snowpocalypse. Yes. George Woodcock, thank you. $5 for Groundhog Day. All right, meet the man behind the simple CYNPLE. We'll get into that in a minute. Whiskey show, where the only thing simpler than his name is his plan. Okay, now look, I go and I read people's about section, and I hope you'll at least give me some credit that I went and did some research on your channel based on the questions I got. So I'm basing this off. Thank you. So I'm basing this off of what he said. I'm not like trying to.
So put all on him. No pressure.
I'm not trying to
pressure
insult
on you.
him. So for example, like one of the things he says is he's no whiskey wizard. That's not me saying it. That's him saying it. All right. So, but he's here to sip, stumble, and share his way through the world of whiskey with you. If you're looking for laughs, learning a little liquid courage, join this simple man, CYNPLE, on his not so expert adventure. I've got to figure out why that's happening. Thank you, Gunnar L, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it, buddy.
It's louder than you, so that might poor eardrum.
Dude, so for those of you guys at home, I don't know why, but whenever somebody does a super chat, it blasts at like volume 7,000 in our headphones, and I cannot figure out why it's happening.
So if I make a cringy face, it's depending on the song, it gets louder than others.
Yeah,
Some of
and
the songs are like, it's like, oh, my ears.
We need a director to keep,
My ears are
keep with the
bleeding.
script. Yeah. Thank you, Gunnar L. I'm trying. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself and where all of your branding strategy comes from, like the simple, sincere, etc.
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks for having me on. And Cyncere, the CYNCERE, came from my music days, writing and performing. My stage name was Cyncere, so I figured why not revive it as I got back in front of the camera from my whiskey journey. So, and when I started out, I realized I didn't know a whole lot about whiskey, so I went with the Simple Whiskey Show and still use the CYN. And the goal of the show, obviously, is just to break things down in a simpler fashion that I didn't have for me when I came on this journey and started looking at all the YouTubers and doing all of the research and things like that. So the only downside is when I go to tell people, hey, go check out the channel, I got to reiterate. It's with a C and not an M and with an N. So unless you want to hear the James Hicks whiskey tales, I guess I'll keep it simple, but it is a pain when I'm trying to explain it to other people.
That's too funny. Now, listen.
That's a great story.
I did some research on you.
Uh-oh.
And I found a video.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't use it because it said it was 14 years old. Was that you? Okay, that wasn't.
Oh,
you.
so
Was it you? Was it you?
His eyes just went.
this was actually
Oh,
earlier, wasn't it?
dude! I was so.
Gotta
I was
hear
like,
it.
I was looking at it. I was like comparing because we were so much younger, and I was like, is that him? I was pretty sure. I was like looking at your eyebrows. I'm like, that really looks like his eyebrows. But it was
It's
so,
the
it was
eyebrow?
so it was so old. I'm like, that can't be him. So was that actually you
Yes.
on a different
That's
channel,
me.
right?
It is, and that wasn't the channel we talked about. So for you to find that, that's good.
Look, man, people come on my show. I do some research. That's all I'm saying. So I wish I had ripped that and
You're
played
the
that. then.
MBI, Matt Bureau Investigation.
That's right. The MBI, the Matt Bureau of Investigation. By the
We'll
way,
chat about that one offline.
Okay, all right, yeah. Come back at the end on open mic and let's talk about it. By the way, while we're talking, his channel is pinned at the top of the chat. If you guys want to check out his channel or subscribe, please check it out and go follow all his socials from his channel too. So, okay, I love this statement you said. In your very first video, you stated, "Whiskey found me." I thought that was a really cool statement. I don't even know if you remember saying that so long ago. I love that. Can you elaborate on that a bit and give us that story?
First of all, I'm so sorry that you had to see that first video. But at the same token, the phrase "whiskey found me," I still say that to this day because years and years ago, I've been in sales most of my life, and I was at a conference, and the drink of choice back then was vodka tonics or whatever beer they had available. I wasn't a whiskey guy. I knew nothing about whiskey whatsoever, and I'm chatting it up with this gentleman, and he orders an old fashioned. And so immediately I'm kind of sipping. I'm like, oh, that looks like the cool thing to do. So maybe I'll order one too. And as I got a little bit of the first sip of that old fashioned just hit different. Obviously, it wasn't clear liquid with a lime like the vodka tonic, but the taste that I got on that old fashioned was just so different, so unique. And I'd never had one. So it stuck with me to this day. The whiskey that we had that evening was Woodford Reserve. I'm not a huge regular Woodford guy nowadays, but I do love the double oaked. But then, like I said, we got to talking a little bit after that. He orders one neat, orders me one neat. It burned my chest, and I put hair on my chest that same night. But at the end of the day, I loved the slow burn, the oakiness, the little bit of flavor that you got sip by sip, drink after drink, and then the conversation that we had that went along with it. At that point, I knew this is what whiskey is about, and the rest is history. So whiskey found me all those years ago at a conference through just chatting it up with a coworker.
All right, now hang on. The double oak is 90 proof. That put hair on. Come on, that burned you a little bit back then.
Well, when you're new to it, like
You saw that picture from 14 years ago.
That's true. I did. Now listen, I think it's funny because that is the most common story that I hear. I almost want to say that old fashions are like the bourbon gateway, like cocktail almost. It's like
Especially if
the
you
weed
get-
is the gateway drug. The old fashions like the gateway bourbon drug.
especially if you get a good one. Oh my word!
yeah.
You're just like, give me another one, give me a third, fourth, fifth. I'll take an Uber home. This is too
Exactly.
good to stop.
We went on a date night a long time ago to what was that whiskey bar we went to?
Louis.
Some whiskey bar near us.
Louis.
And I ordered an old fashioned, and I was like, "This is the best goddamn old fashioned I've ever had." And I got the waitress, and I was like, "What did you put in this?" And she was like, "Woodford double oaked." And I'm like, "Fucking double oak, man! Every time makes a great
Yeah.
old fashioned."
There it is. Especially
Okay.
the chocolate old fashioned.
Yeah, man. There's so many. Well, look, Old Fashioned Ways Plus Plus is in the channel. You should go check out his channel. He makes like a new old fashioned every day. He's on a mission to make 1,000 old fashions or something crazy. Okay, so you introduced the 3 S's for tasting whiskey in some of your videos. So how did you come up with this method? Why don't you tell everybody what the 3 S's are and what you do with them?
So that's swivel, sniff, and sip. And after doing extensive research, Google, Chat GPT, I didn't quite know what whiskey etiquette was. So after I did 2 searches, I can't recall exactly what came up, but whatever it was some like shishi foo-foo explanation of how you should drink whiskey. So I immediately said, okay, we got to simplify this. So I went down to the swivel, sniff, sip. And obviously, if you swivel a little too voraciously, you do end up spilling a little bit. You'll see a lot of edits on my videos because I do that. But just researching the thought that they put into it, or not the machine learning, but the big explanation that they gave, I'm like, I can't do a video on this. It doesn't even resonate with me, much less anybody else. So early on, I said, okay, I'm gonna simplify that. And if you notice, that was one of my like second or third videos that I thought I uploaded as a short, and it's like a 60-second full video.
Yep, it was a little bit too long. Yep, we've all made that mistake. Bourbon Nerd, Life from the Patio, Gandy Road. Who else? Another Life from the Patio guy. All just said, just subscribe. Thank you guys for checking out his channel and subscribing. That's awesome.
Dave Vogelsang.
Dave Vogelsang said it too?
Yeah, right there. The fingers.
My fingers on it? Oh, there it is. Mr. Vogelsang. Thank you, sir. And Dave Vogelsang, that's some, you scored a baller subscriber there, man. He's you'll learn about him soon. He'll be all over your videos trying to get you to put ice and stuff. He'll be all over you very soon, I promise you, man.
We'll touch on that later in the video today, too.
You emphasize understanding one's palate before collecting whiskey. So how did your own palate evolve over time? And you mentioned that you watched the interview with Wyatt about how we talked about doing like a year video. So have you noticed any changes? And if so, what have they been?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, the way I started to evolve my palate was just trying everything, different proofs, different mash bills, different distilleries. And over time, it just evolves and expanded. And I think, did you mention the most surprising flavor?
What, the vitamins?
Yeah. Did you mention, was that a question yet or no?
No, but we can get into it now if you want. Go ahead. Bring it up. Let's do it. I got the bottle right here.
When we were talking earlier, you mentioned, when we were talking about this, you mentioned something along the lines of, what was the most surprising flavor I'd ever had? And
hang on. Is Vogelsang here? Because he's going to love this story. Vogelsang, pay attention if you're here. All right, go ahead. Flintstone Vitamins. And what bottle was it?
Hold on. Flintstone Vitamins in Virginia. This bottle was super allocated. So every time I got an opportunity to get it, I was not quite far up enough in line. So I go on vacation. I'm out in Outer Banks, and they have like 30 of them just sitting on the shelf. You can buy as many of them as you want to buy. The bottle, you can see. See this?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
Oh my God. This was the absolute biggest negative surprise I'd ever had from a whiskey experience. And people that watch my videos say that they can usually tell just how much I dislike something, even though I'm like, yeah, it's okay, based off of my facial expression. When I had a sip of that, my wife gave me a look. She's like, what's wrong? And granted, it might have been 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday, day drinking, but that taste stuck with me to this day. And to this day, this bottle is the initiation bottle. If you come to the Simple Whiskey Show, you got to have at least a sip of that.
Josh Miller, thank you for your $5 donation. I appreciate that, sir. So
wasn't that bottle that you got? There's that one bottle that you always make people try when they come up. Like...
No. Let's not talk about that bottle. No.
I think we all have that one bottle.
I think your views on Dickel are pretty consistent. There is a bottle. There's a bottle that I really like, and it is an 18-year-old bottle. It is called Boondocks 18. This is allegedly a company found some abandoned Dickel barrels.
Oh.
But they're 18-year-old. I love this bottle. It's one of my favorite bottles, and everybody in the Whiskey Tube makes fun of me because I say it's got a nice salmon cream cheese note, which, that's the face everybody makes, but it's beautiful. I've given it, like this whole bottle, I've basically given out as samples.
Cream cheese.
And only one person has liked it and actually bought a bottle. Everybody else has been like, this is the worst bottle I've ever had in my life.
Can I try it?
Yeah, you want to try it? Yeah,
I
sure.
want to see what this...
So here's what's funny is I was pretty sure, because it's hard to do research on this bottle, but I was pretty sure that this bottle was Dickel. And so fast forward, I'm doing a blind on I think the Bakers were doing like a trash palette challenge, and one of our friends sent Dickel 15 as one of the blinds, and so I drank it, and I'm like, why do I recognize this? And I thought it was Boondocks 18, which has to completely confirm that it's Dickel, that it is Dickel juice for sure. So, anyways,
I'll pour me a little bit of this up myself.
I'll send you a little bit of this. I'll send you a little bit of this Boondocks 18, and you tell me what you think.
And you can have the rest of this if you want it.
Salmon cream cheese, right?
Ugh.
Look at these faces she's making.
No.
Do you like
the sad part about the Dickel is it actually smells like cologne or something. It has a good
Cologne.
nose on it.
That's why
It has a
I
good
was
nose.
gonna say. It feels
Oh,
like
it
I'm
does. It
tasting.
smells like old people cologne. You're right.
Yeah, it smells like a cologne.
Oh my God, it does. It smells like your grandpa's cologne or something.
My grandpa had Old Spice.
Yeah, okay. Well, I could smell a little Old Spicy. Yeah, now man, I think you may just ruin that for me. I may not go back to that anymore. Oh my
Again, I'm
God.
not going back to it.
Sean is here. Wow, he's still awake.
Ugh.
So you don't like it?
It
No,
doesn't. It
palate's
tastes
evolved,
like,
but Dickel 15 has not.
I get that very salty. I get very salt.
Yeah, that's the salmon. And then there's a little creaminess. It's like a little salmon cream
I
cheese.
have never had salmon
All
that
right,
was
look.
salty.
I'll send you a little sample, okay, and you do a review on it, and you tell me if you're like, man, this is smoked salmon smoked cream cheese.
Yeah,
Okay,
I will
It's like a
definitely do
salt
so.
lick.
in one of your videos, you had a change of heart with Maker's Mark after initially dismissing it based on friends' opinions. So how do you encourage people to form their own opinions and not inherit their friends' opinions? I've had this happen to me before too.
Yeah, it was very weird that starting out, I had like 6 bottles to my name and I had an unopened Maker's Mark. And so for me, I was just going through bottle by bottle, trying to figure out what it was that I really liked. Well, along this time frame, I joined a bunch of Facebook groups and I would always ask, is this any good? What are your guys' thoughts on this? And Maker's Mark seemed to just get a whole lot of bad marks. So that bottle stayed unopened for quite a while. But then I came across, I think it was BEP02, and I love
God.
that. And so immediately after I had that, I go and get the Cash Strength, the French Oak Cash Strength, the 101. And since then, like there's not a Maker's, well, there's a couple I don't like, but for the most part, I like most of them. So my advice would be don't worry so much. You can use what we say as whiskey tubers or what your Facebook group guys say as guidance and advice, but at least try everything once. I've tried Dickel multiple times now and it still ain't grown on me. But at the same token, I would have never opened that Maker's Mark bottle had I not stumbled across a different variation of it with a friend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, this is a question.
I feel like I licked a salt lick.
That's the salmon. I know.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
There's
is a
no
que-
fishiness. It's just salt.
This is a question I love asking everybody, and you can't say me. Who's on your Whiskey Tube subscription list?
Oh my God. So Cyncere. No, I'm kidding. That's a huge list. And I'll give you the 5 first that inspired me when I was starting out. Then I'll tell you the couple that I'm currently like really tuned into. So no particular order. Jeremy Sires was one that when I first started
I
out,
love him, dude.
between his charisma, some of the things that he says, his whiskey room, all of that was just one of those things I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Can we talk about his editing? Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When we grow up, we'll edit like him. But Bourbon Junkies, SLB Drinks, Jason C. from the Mash and Drum, and then some fellow Virginians, David and Jamie from Whiskey Row and Beyond the Row, were like the 5 channels that I felt like I watched almost everything that they put out, especially when I was starting on. Now, currently in rotation, obviously WhiskeyWisdom.
Oh, whatever.
And then there's a newbie. Then there's a newbie, Whiskey Wonder Woman. She's also a Virginian, so I support the heck out of her. Bourbon Real Talk, Bruzel, and then it's Bourbon Night. So the main one that I just found like a week or 2 ago that I advise everybody go and check out also, I don't know them personally, but what they're doing is just different. Artfully Bourbon. Those guys, something about their videos is just great.
Okay, cool. I like that. Well, check out our chat. There's a lot of really, really good people in our Whiskey Tube community. A lot of really good channels out there. If you guys want to spam your channels, if you're a mod or if a mod can spam some channels, we got Baker Drinks. We've got Life from the Patio, Beach Sand Bourbon. We've got Sean Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. On the Barrel Whiskey is in here, and they loved it. They loved Dickel. Of course they do. I'm going to send them some of this Boondocks 18 then. Old Fashioned Ways. A lot of really good channels in here. If you guys want to post your channels and broaden
Perfect.
his little Whiskey Tube subscription list, that'd be great. All right, so you describe Buffalo Trace and Ben Holliday's soft red wheat as your go-to sipper. What qualities do you look for as like a go-to sipper?
Yeah, go-to sippers for me, they got to be smooth. So two qualities. One, they got to be usually between 90 and 101 proof. And then they got to pair nicely with a cigar, whether it be a medium-bodied cigar or even a lighter cigar. They got to pair with a cigar, and they got to be 90 to 101 proof. And then the last qualifier is they got to be under $30, except Woodford Reserve Double Oak, Old Forester 1910. Those are two that tend to always be on deck regardless. And I'll sip those very often solely because I do know that they're readily available. And yeah, they're $50 a bottle, but at the same token, they just never miss regardless.
I love some of those bottles you mentioned. Rare Breed's a great one for me. It's a little more than the $30 though. Like $55, $60 range. The Woodford Double Oaked, I love that bottle. I'm trying to think of some other dailies that are good. I don't know. We could flex and say like Russell's 15 if you want. It's like a daily, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding.
I guess it depends on your pockets. If Russell's 15 is a daily sipper for you.
I will very much miss that bottle once it's gone. Okay, you stated that.
Sample of that instead of that Dickel.
Have you had it, Russell's 15?
Yeah, it's coming up later when you ask.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I saw you pouring George T. Stagg a minute ago. So that's your special occasion pour. What was the first? I like this question. What's the first celebratory thing that you poured it for?
So I got this bottle, I think it was early last year in the lottery. So it was actually a bittersweet. I got laid off from a company and found a new job 2 weeks later. And you see how much is left in the bottle. That's how happy I was. I haven't opened it since. No, I'm kidding. I've opened it multiple times since, but that was one of the first things that I toasted to with this bottle when it was brand new. But another milestone that was directly after that was when I hit 500 subs. Granted, I'm not a channel as large as yours, but when I hit 500 subs, I did a quick toast, and I think that was on Instagram and some of the sports, but I didn't do that on the channel.
That's awesome, man. Congrats. 500 is nothing to shake a stick at. Is that something? Is that a right saying? Well, here, I'll cheers to you on that, brother. Yeah. Here you go. Cheers. I've got, what is this? What am I drinking? Why is this like killing me? Oh my God, I'm just casually drinking. I didn't even realize that's what this was. This is rocks on the, I need to put ice cube in it. This is a Lost Lantern Corbin Cash 146 proof. No wonder this is killing me here. All right, well, there you go. Cheers to you. Cheers. I'll take a little sip of that again. Man, that is hot.
I just realized that this is the.
I had this in the wrong order. Well, so Gandy sent me one. This is an Old Charter Oak 90 proof. I was going to start with that, but I guess I'm going high proof first.
I'm going to go with the tea.
With the tea, there you go. With your 5 whiskeys I can't live without video, you stated that whiskey is about memories and stories. Couldn't agree more. I have so many great memories with people and socializing with whiskey. What is a memory, or what is a bottle you've associated with a memory?
Ooh, that's a good one. So we had my son's birthday party. We had a bunch of family down. We had a bunch of friends over. And this was summertime. So, of course, we had cocktails flowing. And I decided to line up a tasting for a few of the folks I hadn't seen in a while. And by the time we get to the last bottle, the conversation was flowing, but it wasn't quite where it needed to be. And we pulled out Blue Run Reflection 1. And that bottle's okay. Like, I went back to it again, and it's not that as great as it was that night. Granted, we'd had a lineup, I think 5 or 6 pours, but at the same token, the level of conversation that came after we got to Blue Run was crazy. You would have thought we were street performers in New York, the way people were just like crowding around us, chiming in, men, women, children, everybody just adding to this conversation to the point to where you didn't want the night to end. And we were down here, I think probably 3-4 hours, to the point to where some of the wives were like, where are our husbands? And we're just all down here, and that Blue Run was just talking tonight.
I love it. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. I love that, man. What advice would you give to somebody new to whiskey collecting about finding bottles that speak to them? I've made so many mistakes, man. I bet you 30% of this shelf is a mistake.
Yeah, I think that to your point, there's a lot of unopened or a lot of open bottles with just the neck pour out of them. But to me, when you are sitting outside by a fire, get home from a long day and been working all day, and you crack something that you hadn't had before, and you take that first sip, and if it's not just that moment where you say, I got to tell somebody about this pour, it's not speaking to you on that level yet. It might be a good cocktail mixer. It may be a good daily sipper, But if it doesn't hit you from at least the second sip, because the first sip's usually a little hot depending on the proof, but that second sip, whenever it hits you and you feel like, I need to tell whoever you talk to that likes whiskey, like my buddy Josh, I got to tell Josh about this. Like those are the ones that for me stand out amongst the crowd. Those are the ones that make my top 5 whiskeys or 5 whiskeys I can't live without, things like that. And then last but not least, those bottles, just like that Blue Run Reflection, when you have a bottle that you even think is okay at the time, and you go around and pour that thing up and you have so many people, just good conversation, that becomes a bottle that, in my opinion, speaks to me.
Yeah. Beach Sand Bourbon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. By the way, we've got 60 people here on YouTube, and I can't look at the counters on the other platforms they're streaming on, but we're chatting with Cyncere here. Check out his YouTube channel, pinned to all of our chats if you haven't. If you're just joining us, thank you guys for joining us. Dude, this old lantern is killing me, dude. I'm going to be on the couch snoring in about 5 minutes, I think, after this. Okay, I like this question. This is. I got 2 crazy questions. You ready for the last 2 crazy ones?
Yeah.
All right. You go to a prestigious dinner.
Sure?
Yeah. Are you sure?
Do you want to take this path or take this red or blue pill?
Yeah. You go to a prestigious dinner. You can sit between any 2 bottles at the table. What bottle's on your left? What bottle's on your right?
That is a tough one.
In the middle.
Do you want to
with
hear
you.
like a fight like between Dickel and Boondocks? Do you want to
that
have
song "Stuck in the Middle with You" comes on?
Yeah, like where are you going?
Nope. I think that if the dinner is prestigious enough, I want to sit beside Weller Antique 101 on one side and Russell Reserve 15 on the other side. Like
Okay.
for me, the
So
level
good.
of conversation you get from the 2 different flavor profiles that are just up here in my opinion, or in my books, that would be a good conversation to sit in. That seems like that would be world leaders having a meeting to me.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh my God, old Pirate Bourbon just rocked it in here. I haven't seen him in forever. Rusty's here. What's up, Rusty? Haven't seen you in a minute either. Dude, if you hang out in the after hours, we got to pour the Weller Antique. That's one of my favorite bottles. I've got a store pick of it that's beautiful. Love that bottle.
Still haven't been able to get an Antique 107 in my years. I've sipped it at multiple bars and restaurants. Still not lucky enough to get one in a drop.
No kidding. All right. Well, I'll be on the lookout for one for you. Okay. Here's the other crazy one. You stated that we've been actually talking about 1910. Vogel sang in the chat, said he just drank a 1910. 1910 is one of my favorite bottles ever. I did a blind of all of the Whiskey Rose prior to the 24 coming out. And 1910 won categorically. I thought 1920 was my favorite. No, it was 1910. Great bottle. So you mentioned Old Forester 1910 has dessert-like flavors, which I agree. If you could pair it, listen to what an asshole I am. You ready for this question? If you could pair it with one dessert from Willy Wonka's factory, what would it be? Good luck.
I know what I would, because I know what I love.
Can I get a Harry Potter question?
You know what? You know Harry Potter. Do you want to?
Not totally.
Okay.
I'm
I
a
don't know.
Harry
I don't know
Potter
Harry
nerd.
Potter enough. What desserts were in Harry
so
Potter?
Willy Wonka,
There was jumpy chocolate frogs.
the frogs, the chocolate frogs, always. But no, from a Willy Wonka perspective, most everything there was chocolate, right? So for me, 1910, I get like that, almost a pancakes and syrup, or sometimes a little bit of a chocolatey note on that. So I'm wondering if maybe we go with a Wonka bar and go chocolate with chocolate, and then if they clash, get you a nice Undercrown Maduro cigar, split them up a little bit, and just enjoy them both separately. How about that?
There you go. You know what? That's, like getting in the chocolate river and drinking some 1910 and smoking a cigar in the chocolate river. You know what? I'll go with that.
I would be the one
With a bunch of sweaty other people.
That's right. Well, I mean, you had to make that weird. I just wanted to get in some
Or
chocolate.
it could be more weird and become one big giant blueberry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, you could chew.
I love blueberry and whiskey. I love that mixture. So
Yeah,
I would be like,
blueberry's good.
I'd be like, give me that gum. Give me that gum.
Yeah, you could chew that full dinner gum.
If I
and,
become like a big blueberry, I'd be cool. Just give me a glass.
blueberry. All right, last 2 questions. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you would like to share?
Yeah, so just similar to what we already touched on, like if you're new to whiskey, just get out there and explore. Like the gentleman you mentioned earlier, there's no wrong way to drink whiskey. Neat, on ice, in a cocktail. The right way is just however you enjoy it. And life's already complicated enough. So whiskey should be about communication and great conversation. And above all else, just keep it simple. Whatever you do, keep it simple.
I agree. I love that answer. All right, last question. Tell everybody where they can find you online. And again, if you're just joining us, his channel's pinned in the top of the chat. Where do you want everybody to find your socials at?
So at the real Cyncere, and it's underscore after the and real and Cyncere, CYNCERE. That is all things social media. And at the Simple Whiskey Show, CYNPLE on YouTube. And thanks again for having me. I really appreciate the support.
Absolutely, man. Okay, so I hope I hope you hang out and chat and come back at the end. If you want to bail, that's cool too. But I hope to see you I do hope to see you I do hope to see you in the after hours because I do want to talk to you more about some drinks and have some pours and
I'll be around.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yes, thank you.
It was an honor.
Enjoyed it. I had fun.
Yeah, me too, as always. And that's it.
Likewise.
I guess that's it, man. All right, I'll see you in the chat, okay?
Take care, guys. Yep. Cheers.
All right, see you later.
Cheers.
Why are the goodbyes the most awkward, hardest part to do? It's just like what am I gonna do? What am I
We
saying?
can do a Southern goodbye and take 15 minutes to say goodbye.
Oh my God, Kaylin did that to me one time. I was talking to her about some drama stuff that was going on, and we said goodbye. And Dustin was there too, so I'm not trying to make this weird. At least 6,000 times, but it wasn't
Weird.
weird. It was just
weird.
yeah. So she made a joke about that. She was like, "That's like a Minnesota goodbye or something." I'm like, "All right."
I think anywhere in this country, people we don't like.
Yeah, there it is, Minnesota goodbye. Yeah.
We just want to.
Yeah,
We love the socialization that we've been deprived for.
I think
a couple of
each
years.
one of us went around and Dustin was in another room. He was like, "Goodbye." And then,
Good riddance. Go away.
And then I was like, "All right, goodbye." And then Kaylin was like, "Goodbye." It was great. I love talking with him. All right. What is what is next? Oh no, we have a one random thing. We haven't done this.
A random thing.
We haven't done this in a while.